to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
The air was thick with tension when it happened. At what was supposed to be a private and intimate family event, all eyes suddenly turned toward Teyana Taylor. Without warning, she stood up in the middle of a quiet conversation and screamed something. That would flip the entire narrative upside down. It's not just Aaron's child. The words echoed in the room, piercing through the light chatter like a siren. The reaction was instant. Cameras flashed, phones whipped out, and gasps spread like wildfire. You could feel the shock on everyone's faces. Social media caught the explosion within minutes, and fans were completely stunned. What did she mean by that? Was it a slip? Was it a confession? Or was it a warning wrapped in pain? One thing was clear: this was no ordinary outburst. It was the beginning of what may now be the biggest pregnancy scandal to hit celebrity headlines in years. The video clip quickly confirmed the location. It was a private family gathering, likely meant to be off the radar and drama-free. You can see people laughing softly, having food, chatting until the energy shifts. Teyana suddenly rises from her seat, her hands slightly shaking, and with a voice louder than the rest of the room, she yells, "It's not just Aaron's child, I need you all to hear this." Everything stops. People drop forks, conversations die instantly. The vibe shifts from celebration to confrontation in a blink. Phones go up, people instinctively start recording. You can hear the confusion, the tension, and even fear in the background. This wasn't planned. This wasn't rehearsed. This was a moment of pure, raw truth slipping out from beneath months of silence and pressure. And the silence that followed? Her words? It was heavier than any scream could ever be. But those 6 words, "It's not just Aaron's child," sent fans into a frenzy of interpretations. What exactly did she mean? Some thought she might be saying the child has more than one father figure, maybe implying emotional betrayal or involvement of someone close to Aaron. Others went deeper, wondering if the baby biologically belonged to someone else entirely. A few even took it legally, suggesting maybe Aaron's role as the father isn't recognized on paper. Was it a secret second father? Was it her way of emotionally disconnecting from Aaron's role in the pregnancy? Or was she talking to someone else in that room, someone we don't even know about yet? Theories started flooding in, each more shocking than the last, because the truth remains frustratingly unclear. And that's exactly what makes this moment so magnetic. The camera then shifts to Aaron. His reaction is enough to raise suspicion. On its own, he freezes. His face goes pale, like all the blood drains from his body in seconds. He opens his mouth as if to say something, but nothing comes out. He takes a step back, then another, eyes locked on Teyana with disbelief. He looks like a man whose secrets were just ripped open in front of everyone. Before anyone can speak further, security quietly approaches and soft whispers ripple through the crowd. Teyana doesn't flinch, she keeps breathing hard, her face unreadable, but her eyes say everything. They scream betrayal, exhaustion, strength. Aaron, on the other hand, walks away without saying a word. No apology, no denial, no confrontation. Just a quiet, shaken exit that makes it all feel even more real. As soon as the clip hits the internet, Twitter explodes. The phrase, "It's not just Aaron's child," becomes the most retweeted line of the night. The hashtag "It's not just Aaron's child" starts trending globally. TikTok creators start posting instant reaction videos, wide-eyed and shocked, pausing the clip frame by frame to analyze who else was in the room. One creator even pointed out that the timeline of the pregnancy doesn't line up with a few of Aaron's documented absences. Another made a full video essay titled, "Who is she talking about?" which had 1 million views in less than 5 hours. People are confused, angry, sympathetic, and addicted to the story unfolding in real time. Every second online feels like a new bombshell waiting to go off. Then came one of the wildest fan theories yet. What if Teyana wasn't even talking about Aaron at all? After the explosive outburst that had gone viral, some fans took a step back and started looking deeper. What if her words weren't directed at Aaron, but at someone else entirely? The internet ran with that possibility. There were whispers that she might have been referring to a sibling or a hidden family member, or even shockingly, a previously unacknowledged child in Aaron's life. Others took a different route, suggesting it wasn't about paternity in the biological sense, but something even more emotional. Maybe she was saying this child is no longer his emotionally or legally. Maybe in her heart she'd already made the decision to remove him from that role entirely. That interpretation opened up a whole new layer to the drama. It wasn't just about infidelity anymore, it became about identity, protection, and a woman fiercely reclaiming her space. Fans pointed to the tone in her voice during that now infamous outburst. She didn't sound confused or heartbroken. She sounded fierce, guarded, and finished. One viral post summed it up perfectly. This wasn't a woman revealing a secret. This was a woman reclaiming her peace. That line caught fire across social media. Suddenly, people weren't just analyzing her words, they were analyzing her energy. A body language expert even jumped in on Instagram Live, breaking down her posture and expressions frame by frame. According to them, Teyana didn't look like someone who was overwhelmed. She looked like someone who had been holding something in for too long and had finally snapped. Her arms were crossed, her jaw was clenched. That wasn't sadness, that was resolve, the expert claimed. That breakdown sent viewers into a frenzy. This moment wasn't just tea. It was personal, it was layered. And it was very, very real. And then just like that, she vanished. Teyana disappeared from the spotlight completely. No interviews, no events, no live streams. She wiped her Instagram stories clean, leaving behind only a pitch-black screen. That one act alone had fans in a chokehold. It felt like mourning. It felt like silence after a storm. Then, fans noticed something chilling. Teyana had unfollowed Aaron. That in itself was expected. But what caught people's attention was the other account she unfollowed. No one could figure out who it belonged to. It wasn't a celebrity. And it wasn't a known friend. That small mystery was enough to launch dozens of Reddit threads. Hours later, Teyana finally posted a single message to her feed. White text on a black background. It read, "Truth doesn't need an audience." That line hit the internet like a thunderclap. No explanation, no hashtags, no captions, just that. It wasn't performative and it wasn't dramatic. But it said everything. She wasn't going to play the media game. She wasn't going to spill everything for likes and comments. She was stepping away, and somehow that made her words even louder. Some people believe this is the calm before the storm. That she's planning something big, a tell-all, an interview, or even legal action. Others think she's drawing a boundary. That she's no longer interested in clearing things up for the public. She's choosing herself, her healing, and her baby. Either way, the silence is deafening. But the drama didn't stop there. Soon, people close to the couple began breaking their silence too. A cousin of Teyana spoke to a popular gossip blog anonymously. The quote was brief, but it sent shockwaves. "She's protecting more than a baby. She's protecting a story that's bigger than we know." That one sentence lit up the internet. What story? What truth? What else was going on behind the scenes? Fans and blogs started digging, speculating, and connecting dots that may or may not even exist, and then came Aaron's aunt out of nowhere. She posted a cryptic message on her personal Facebook page. It read, "Some secrets slay trust. And once trust dies, love follows." The message didn't mention names, but everyone knew exactly what it was about. It felt like the family was communicating in riddles, giving just enough to keep people watching but never revealing the full picture. And that only made the public more obsessed. At this point, many people believe that quiet legal conversations are already happening behind closed doors. The rumors are loud even though no official statement has been made. One of the biggest speculations is that Aaron's name might not even be on the baby's birth certificate, or that Teyana is taking steps to have it removed. If that's true, it changes everything. This situation goes far beyond heartbreak or online drama. It becomes a legal matter with real consequences. Decisions about custody, visitation rights, and even financial responsibility could all be on the table. Some fans think Teyana is laying the groundwork to make sure Aaron has no legal power over the child's life. And if that's the case, it would explain the silence from both sides. When lawyers get involved, everything slows down. Every move becomes calculated. Every word is weighed carefully. It's not about emotions anymore, it's about strategy. Some even say this isn't just about protecting herself emotionally, but legally too. What makes it even more intense is the idea that the families might now be involved. A few cryptic messages from relatives have fueled speculation that this Drama is growing into something bigger, a long-term family conflict filled with secrets, betrayal, and quiet tension. Fans have gone from following a messy relationship fallout to trying to decode a real-life family saga. One that seems to have more layers than anyone originally thought. What started off as just another messy celebrity scandal is no longer just about who said what or who hurt whom. It's about control, reputation, and a child's future. The internet is hooked, but this isn't just entertainment for many, it feels personal. Fans want justice, clarity, and maybe even revenge on Teyana's behalf. They want to see her win, and they want Aaron to be held accountable, but as the silence continues from both Aaron and Teyana, the mystery only grows. People are watching closely, refreshing timelines, dissecting every post, and searching for clues. What once looked like a breakup is now starting to feel like the beginning of a storm. And no one knows what's coming next. Whatever's coming next, one thing's for sure, it won't be quiet. Aaron finally broke his silence, or at least tried to. But instead of clarity, he gave the internet more questions. He posted a completely black image on Instagram with the caption, "Know your truth." No names, no context, no follow-up. That was it. For some, it was an act of quiet strength, letting the storm pass without engaging. But for many others, it felt weak, defensive. Shady, one fan commented, "You don't get to dodge accountability by speaking in riddles." Another said, "You're not healing, you're hiding." The overall reaction? Disappointment. People expected a statement. A real one, maybe even an apology. Instead, they got another layer of ambiguity, and that just made the situation worse. So, here we are. A single sentence, "It's not just Aaron's child," has flipped everything upside down. What began as a joyful pregnancy journey is now buried under suspicion, emotion, and public chaos. Teyana's words changed the game. Aaron's silence only deepened the mystery. And now we're all watching, waiting, speculating. Who else is involved? What was really meant? And most importantly, what comes next? If you've got theories, we want to hear them. Drop them in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because if we've learned anything from this story, it's that the next twist might already be unfolding behind the scenes.